Hey, Las Vegas. Welcome back to Vegas Realty Check, your local Las Vegas real estate news show. And I'm Trish Williams.
And I'm Tiana Carroll. Welcome back. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. And we're third week now of August, just trucking through the year.
It's nuts. Kids are back in school.
Oh, yeah.
We're halfway through the month, 15th.
Yeah, we're 2 days away from this big August 17th day.
The day.
They say all the new NAR rules are going to be in effect, but here in Vegas, they're already in effect. They've been in effect, yeah.
Yeah, we started early. We wanted to make sure that everybody was well-versed by the time the deadline hit.
Yeah, so deadline is approaching 2 days from now. News has started reporting. I've seen some news reports, and not all of them are very accurate. I feel like the news is doing great job at misinforming people like they always do. So thank you, news.
I'm gonna go with it's not very accurate either. The way the story is told means that they're making it seem like there's these huge drastic changes, and in reality, it was just how business should have been ran in the first place.
Absolutely. And out in the field, and just being out in the field, making contracts, working deals, working with buyers, working with sellers. I haven't seen much shift in anything other than the paperwork. So
shift in the paperwork, and in reality, just having conversations and educating your client and handling those objections is really all it's about. I will tell you that there is some fantastic social media memes and jokes and stuff coming.
Gosh.
I haven't laughed this hard since all of the lockdown jokes.
I
love the internet. Yay! Thanks for joining us on the internet.
You know what I think the general public really misses out on is being a part of a real estate mastermind group, and the things that go on and are posted through theirs. There's times that I just scroll through and I'm just laughing and laughing and laughing, and I'm like, wow, these people are crazy and funny and
funny. Yeah, that's
creative. creative.
Yeah. There are some funny ones. Even a friend of ours posted one the other day. I guess there's the line like, someone new in the villa, it's got to be like some dating show, I'm assuming, like a Bachelorette or something. Mm-hmm. And she's like, new to the villa this week. And it was like BBAs. And I was like dying laughing. I'm like, that's hysterical.
Yeah, no, definitely. Realtors do have a sense of humor. You
Yeah.
gotta give them that.
Yeah. Well, if you can't laugh, you'll cry.
Right. That's this August 17th is approaching in a couple days. We're getting there, so you'll be seeing a lot of news headlines about it. Definitely speak to a professional about what's really happening, because they are so misleading.
Yeah, talk to a girl. Give me a call, give you a call, talk to somebody who knows what's up, because I did see a few news articles, I saw a few reports, and I'm like, oh, that's not even right.
That's not true.
Yeah,
yes,
it's not right. It's not true. There was like two within the same, two contradictory points within the same newscasting, saying that, this was a proposed settlement, that it's not been accepted yet. And then at the end, it was like, and the new accepted settlement is this. And I'm like, well, hello, people aren't going to know what's happening if you keep saying stuff. That's both ends of your mouth.
Yeah, it is what it is. But as far as inventory here in the Valley.
Okay, so this is quite an interesting conversation, because I'm going to just slide this over to you, because these are the past 3 weeks if you want to compare numbers week over week. So today in our single family active homes, we had 4,737. That is the largest number that we've seen this year.
This is. Yes, so we're getting to that 5,000 mark, but the market is pretty slow right now. It is. There's not a lot of activity. I'm going to preach again and again and again every show. Buyers, this is opportunity. I got a buyer. We got a buyer in contract like a week, 2 weeks ago. I think we're about 2 weeks now into contract. Appraisal came in yesterday. Instant equity. Whoa! Appraisal came in above where we're at. So like this is that opportunity. Closing costs are being paid. The buyer's getting benefits. Like this is that time when no one else is out there. You have no competition. You take advantage of that.
Yeah. This is a great time to get out there and do some buying for sure. And let's see, our sold is 379.
It's not a good number.
Well, they haven't been good. It's been 374 and 346 for the past 3 weeks.
So I guess we're a couple notches up from that.
But there's times when we've been selling like 400 and 500 homes a week. So this 3 number I don't love. The price decreases are, well, the inventory's ticking up, right? At the end of July, it was 43.61, then it was 45.41. Today, it's 47.37. But the sort of same thing is happening with the price decreases, right? It was 582, and now it's up to 649.
649, yeah. So whenever we see more inventory, whenever we see a bit of slowdown, people start adjusting those prices because they got to get the buyers motivated.
Yeah.
And price is definitely a motivator.
And you can see it in the price decrease numbers. The end of July, we were at 600 that were
under contract?
Are we doing under price decreases? Sorry.
Price decreases.
I'm just about 600. 582.
Yeah.
And then the price decrease was 649 today.
Yeah. And then under contracts, those dropped a bit?
They did.
Did they drop a bit from the last couple weeks?
They went from 600 to 528 to 511 today.
Yeah, so we're seeing those a little bit lower too.
Yep.
And I did notice over the last week, one of the things I gauge, which should maybe we'll start mentioning that here on the show, but I gauge the new listings versus the under contract because that shows if we're getting more things hitting the market than are going into contract. And having that number even or somewhat balanced is good, but there was a pretty large gap in between those new listings and going under contract. A lot more new listings than under contract. So definitely a sign of a slow market.
Definitely a sign that the market's slowing down. And guess what? That will all change lickety split if those interest rates drop just a smidge.
Yeah, well, the interest rates have been doing pretty well. We had that one day that they got in the fives. It was one day, not long enough to do anything with.
Right. Well, for the lucky people that were in contracts, they could have locked that day.
Yeah.
So that's good. But but everybody across the news media has been sort of synonymous with the fact that, hey, guess what? Prices are going, or at least the Fed is going to drop their interest rates. And hopefully that'll trickle down to some mortgage lenders who will start dropping their rates, so that way we can see some more. And once that happens, I think it's going to be a free-for-all, because I feel, and you tell me if you feel the same thing, I feel like there's this sort of tension on the sidelines, like everybody wants to run in and be a part of the market, and they've been waiting for so long now, it feels like, some of them for like a year and a half, to get into this market, just waiting for the right time. And like you said, if you want to be a buyer, no competition is a good place to be, especially if these price decreases are happening. You can get those sellers to work with you, get some concessions or what have you. So
get some concessions, yeah. And I have gotten some contracts lately that got the max concessions that they could get with their loan type, and that is phenomenal.
Yeah, max concessions are the best.
Max concessions, like that's really in a hotter market unheard of.
Yeah.
Unheard of. So
Yeah. We do. We have a dynamic market.
Yeah.
We have a dynamic market. When I watch like stats in other states, I'm just like, woof, that is so different than we are.
Yeah. So we're doing well. A quick note before we get into our listener questions. We have a few listener questions today to talk about, which they're interesting.
Okay. Real quick, I did want to say that there was a, let's see, who is this that I read? At therealtor.com, they released an article, and it was talking about surprising cities with the hottest market. And we're not in the top 10 of the hottest market.
Really?
Yeah. We sort of, it's Oshkosh, Wisconsin. That was number 1 on the hottest.
Really? Wisconsin? Who's moving there?
Well, they took into a lot of factors. They're doing healthcare and school districts and price and of affordability of home versus medium home price range or whatever. But I'm trying to find how much we climbed, because we did a significant climb. We were the biggest climber. Let's see, the 5 largest markets that saw the biggest jump in rankings were Las Vegas, Philadelphia, Kansas, Minneapolis, and Chicago. And Las Vegas saw the biggest of the hottest market rankings, and in the metros, and it moved up 73 spots over last year. Usually on these, you might see like a shift of like 5, 10, like 20 to 30 is crazy, right? That's unheard of. But 73 spots over the last year.
Hey, Vegas is the place to be, baby.
Man, it just went through the ranks. That's insane.
Awesome.
Yeah. But we didn't make the top 20, even with that big climb, which is okay.
That's odd. I mean, like Wisconsin, I wouldn't even think of that as a place where people would really.
Again, it's taking everything, the average income that the people make and what the home prices are, school districts, things like that. So, but
right.
we did climb, and that's good. So, and better than falling, because there was another article that came out, and it was all about the price cuts, and it was the top 10 markets that had price cuts, decreases, seeing a lack of appreciation, and we were not on that list at all. Yay!
Okay, good job, Vegas.
Yeah, so of course it's always the same ones, right? It's Atlanta, Tampa, Phoenix, Charlotte, but not us, so we don't care.
Good.
Forget you guys. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so over the last 30 days, most people got their tax bill.
Yay!
And
taxes are important.
Property tax, your property tax bill. I get every time when it happens, I get calls, like, hey, I got this bill about my taxes. Do I have to pay this? Well, if you have a mortgage, very likely that your mortgage is paying that.
Right.
That is
it's
just
in an escrow account for that reason.
Right. And that's just an informational document to, let you see what's being assessed, how it's being assessed. There's options to dispute it. One of the things, though, if you did get that tax bill, take a look at your tax cap rate. We've talked about this. I think we talk about this every year.
Yeah, we do. We always let you know, hey, guess what? Tax cap is coming. Make sure you do that.
Yeah, that tax cap rate, if it is your primary residence and you are owner occupant, you can get that rate capped at 3%, or it's capped at 3%, which means it can't, not a 3% tax rate, a 3% increase. Right? So, if it's showing the 8, then likely you need to contact the treasurer's office to get that revised. They now do not have people that answer the phone over there. It's a complete automated system. And I've also had people call me back and says, hey, no one's answering the phone. What do I do? I don't know, other than, there's 2 offices here in the Valley. So
yeah, you can go down to the office if you wanted to do that. But yeah, I think in general, the whole city is moving into sort of automation, especially now with AI.
Yeah, I can't. It frustrates me right when I hear the automated voice over the phone. I'm like, ugh. I gotta talk to a computer.
Yeah, so that must be an our generation thing, because I get frustrated too. I'm like, listen, I just have a few questions, and I'm a talker. I want to talk to somebody on the phone, but my kids and stuff, they're like, just email them.
Yeah, but the automated computer's like, oh, I didn't understand what you said. Did you said this? No, I didn't say that. And that's not what I'm saying. Stop telling me I'm saying that. And then it's like, let me just talk to a person. I can't.
I can only imagine like how I must sound like on the other end of those automated systems. I must sound terrible, because that's where I let all my frustration out.
Right.
I'm like, damn it, just give me a person.
Give me a person. No,
I didn't say that. Talk to me.
No, it's very maddening. I can't imagine anybody's like, oh wow, I'd rather talk to a computer. I just don't. I don't.
Well, maybe it's just because we're extroverts, right?
No, I still, I just don't know. If there's a person out there that would rather talk to a computer, I want to hear from you. Send me a message. Let me know. I just want to know if you people exist. That's all. That's all. Because I just can't.
Are there people there working? Just let me know that you're okay. Give me a sign.
It's madness. But anyways, let's go into Daniel.
Daniel, our boy has a question. Let's see. Daniel says, my house is paid off. Good job, Daniel. Congratulations on that.
Yes.
And it says, I'm worried about the economy and a crash. Should I do a Wi-Fi? Eek. Should I do a refi is what I meant to. I'm going to start over. Daniel, my house is paid off. I am worried about the economy and the crash. Should I do a refi to take out the cash and hold it in the bank instead?
Daniel, First off, before we start, we are not financial advisors.
We not financial advisors.
So every statement we have is based off our opinion of the situation.
Yep.
And
we don't know your finances, right? That might make sense for some people, but
what I see,
I don't see it because then if you refi, then you have another payment.
Yeah.
So even though you have cash in the bank, you are now making an external payment each month
because you have an interest rate on a refi. So to me, that seems almost silly unless you need to take the money out to use it for something, to do something with it, and sometimes the cost of that is less than the cost of taking out a personal loan or signature loan or something like that. I can understand that scenario. You're doing something with the money,
There's got to be an option that works, that you need the refi, but just to have it as cash
to hold in the bank, the percentage that the bank's going to give you for holding that cash is going to be less than the percentage that you're going to be paying in interest on that refi. And therefore, you're paying more to hold your money than you are to leave it where it is in your home. And this concern about the crash,
Hasn't it been going to crash?
How long have we been hearing this? Oh my gosh.
Well, times are tough out there for people. So I get that some people think that some people are experiencing life very different than others right now. So we can't dismiss the fact that he might have a real concern because I don't know what his finances are.
Right. And people have been having concerns. YouTube videos, TikTok's not doing us any favors here, but YouTube videos, TikToks, all this.
That's the highlight of my day. My 2 hours I get on TikTok, one in the morning and one at night. Leave me alone.
But the people that are giving advice on there about, I had someone send me a TikTok video. And he told me he wanted to list his condo, but he's only accepting gold. Because the dollar, he believes strongly by this video that the dollar is crashing. And, who knows, whatever the truth behind that is. And I'm like, no.
Yeah. So I think for Daniel, a better option that you might want to look into, and of course do your research, even talk to a financial advisor or something, might be a HELOC. Because then that gives you access to the equity in your home.
It does, but it's still at an interest rate.
It is still at an interest rate, but you do have the access to your home. Now, the downside of that is if the market does turn, then your bank can go ahead and lower that amount available to you.
They can lower the amount available. They can call the note due. And again, I think if you're using the money towards something that you need the cash, you need to pull it out, you have a plan for it, great. And hopefully that plan for it makes sense on the interest rate. But again, to me, in my opinion, it makes 0 sense to pull money out to hold it in the bank on the fear of a crash. Because again, in every decline that we've seen, there may be a time period where it's not great to sell, right? If we do have a decline, again, investing 101, sell high, not low, right? But you may have to hold off, you may have to stick it out, you may have to wait for it to return, but we've always seen it come back.
Yeah, it's always come back, and that's good. And sometimes just keeping your house paid off is the best, safest bet for you.
Well, yeah. I mean, in any kind of decline or crash, what if you lose employment? What if your income declines? Not having a mortgage note is a huge benefit in that situation.
Yep. But again, talk to your financial advisor and, make sure that if you have genuine concerns, they can look at you as a person and your finances and help you make a decision that works best for you.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. So we got to talk about Ron.
Ron. I love Ron. I don't want to show my home to anybody that's not motivated and qualified and ready to buy. Is there any way I can guarantee that this listing so I don't have people just coming and looking. Nobody likes looky-loos, so I get that, Ron.
Yeah. Well, guarantees are, again, we're at the mercy of other people sometimes. So like a full-on guarantee that's kind of not really realistic. However.
Like a cash buyer or a off market or something will get you something quick and guaranteed that they'll take it, but you'll lose money.
Yeah, but there's also, and I do this often with listings, especially when we get into like a luxury price point in listings, we require pre-approval.
Yep.
We require pre-approval or proof of funds prior to the showing.
Yeah.
And while again, this is just a pre-approval or proof of funds, not a guarantee that, they didn't go take out all the money out of that house the day before or out of that account the day before the showing. We can't control that part, but at least we have documentation that shows this is a well and qualified buyer. And we can definitely do that across any price point prior to approving an appointment.
Yeah, and that definitely weeds out anybody who's not serious. People have already talked to the lender or they've got their proof of funds in place, and those are already very viable options, which I love. And then the strongest point to this for me is always the agents.
Yeah.
Because the conversations, just having a conversation, if a buyer's agent calls you on your listing and says, hey, I want to show this house, and you're like, oh, that's great. Tell me a little bit about your buyer. Just those broaching questions to sort of gauge that their interest and their motivation as a buyer is so telling and helpful.
Absolutely. And per our new regulations, buyers have to have a agency agreement prior to showing homes. So that means that, if as long as the agents are following the rules.
The very new rules.
The very new rules, but hopefully they all are out there. Then this buyers has to execute an agency agreement. They have to have some sort of consultation. I believe buyers now are going to be a lot more well prepared and informed than they were before. So
yeah, which is great.
It is great. That is a good thing. So I think that kind of eliminates what we call in real estate looky-loos, right? Eliminates the looky-loos. Going back though, if you have open houses and things like that, a lot of times I have a lot of sellers that like owner occupied, no open houses, we just don't want to let anybody come through the door. For some people, it just doesn't make sense. You know?
Well, some people have a mindset that open house is a benefit to the homeowner. And I believe that it's more a benefit to the agents, contacts, networking. To meet people. Yeah. And, sales do come from open houses, but not as often as sellers like. Sometimes sellers think it's the only way to sell a house, and they don't realize that the marketing and the conversation, the relationships, the photos, those are all much more impactful than a house being held open for 2 hours on a Saturday.
Yeah, well, per the NAR housing statistics, 1% of homes that sold were sold during open houses.
Right.
So that's very small percentage.
Right. Now, buyers, I think the number went up to like 13% buyers that go to open houses end up purchasing, but it's only 1% of the time they purchase the house that they went into.
That they walked into, yeah. Sometimes they meet a realtor, get the ball started, get everything going.
Yeah, it's a great place to go to start your search, see what's available, and to have conversations with realtors if you don't have one in your back pocket. Luckily, our community has both of us in there, so they can like, share, subscribe, join the community, get questions answered here. They can call us. They've got a link tree that you can go to and get all kinds of information.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, that's wrapping up Ron. So now we have Jamie.
Jamie, we are going to help you out.
Well,
Jamie, I think my house is haunted. What can I do to cleanse this house before I sell it?
That's fun. So
I love this question. And it actually comes up more often than you think.
It does.
It comes up a lot. And people who are looking at houses, because I'm going to tell you right now, as somebody who goes in a ton of houses have vibes. They have energies. I don't know if it's the natural light that comes in, the nature that you can see, the location, if it's a spirit, but they do have feng shui, like they do have energies, and there are things that you could do both in the spiritual realm, if that's going to help you, or there's things that you can do just painting and staging and changing the look of the house to do it. But in the spiritual realm, I looked Don't you laugh at me, lady.
Go ahead.
No,
go ahead. Let's go.
People are serious about this, and I do not suggest this unless you are a spiritual person and you know what's happening. But smudging tends to clean energy.
Yeah, no, I do. When people are saying like, oh, I just want to, balance the energy, do whatever. I'm like, hey, a lot of people are,
do it.
Believers in the sage, smudging, saging the house, releasing all that. So absolutely.
They sage. They have spiritual advisors come in, priests doing exorcisms.
I've heard of exorcisms. Yeah.
I've had clients who want it, and I'm like, great, let's do it. If that's what you need to get going, then let's make it happen.
I've heard of a coconut. Have you heard of the coconut thing?
No.
Oh my gosh, I heard of a coconut thing. Like I don't know. I might be wrong, but
okay. Tell me about the coconut.
The coconut, like you put it by the door, and it like captures stuff. I guess I don't know, but it turns black if there was like bad energies or something.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a lot of things you could do.
There's a lot of things that you can do. Is it the Catholic community that has the little saint that you bury in the front yard?
Joseph.
Saint Joseph. When you first get the house and to bless, then you can have people come in and bless the house.
Do you know they sell the Saint Joseph at the LVR?
right there in the front store. You can get like your for sale signs and your business card holder and your Saint Joseph for your clients to bury in their front yard to have good luck or prosperity.
At the Las Vegas Association of Realtors, they do sell that.
So I know that we're sort of poking fun at this, right? But people in general, lots of people have different faiths and energy, and your house is such a protective part of your life, right? It's where you go to feel safe and whatever. So you do whatever you need to do to make it right for you. Like me personally, I'm all about positive energy and space and whatever, and I have a little bit of a Wiccan background, so I'm not offended with the sage. I personally wouldn't sage because that's not, my practice, but mine is always just blessing the life that's at my house, like my plants and stuff. And every time I have a plant just die off quickly, like within a matter of days, out of nowhere, thriving, beautiful, and then one day it's dead, I always take that, since all my plants are blessed, that was dark energy coming out, and my plant took one for the team.
Oh, so okay.
You can have your brand of crazy. I got my brand of crazy, and everybody's allowed to live their life however they want to. If you want to smudge away. If you want to have a priest come in and bless the house, do it. Whatever is going to work for you.
Well, when we first bought our house, we had our pastor come in and do the prayer, do the house blessing, and we have the house blessing posted on our wall in the hallway. It is. And yes, I believe that helped bring our house in the right spot for us. So, So it's definitely haunted. Do you know? Fun fact. I believe it's Texas. You have to put on a seller disclosure if the house is haunted.
Oh. Good for Texas.
I believe it's Texas. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there is a state, which I'm pretty certain is Texas, where that's part of the seller's disclosure. And that is so bizarre to me because, like, who verifies this?
Right. Like, but you buy this house and you're like, it wasn't on the disclosure that there's haunted, but there is a kid running down my hall that is not mine.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening here?
What's going on here? Like, but how do you disclose this? And, like, poor realtors, like, that have to, like, because we have to navigate through a lot of issues.
Yeah.
A lot of problems. And I just cannot imagine navigating through this part of a disclosure. And, like, wow, that's...
Well, I'm sure 99% of the time your clients are going to look at you like you're insane, like, oh, that house isn't haunted. But there are people who have had experiences, and I can't dismiss them. I wasn't there. I don't know what their life is like. And there are unexplained things in this world that I've seen. So, I'm not gonna dismiss them.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that we always I always get like poked fun at on our disclosures here in Las Vegas.
Oh, because if the house kills you.
No, the house kills you, but that's not on the disclosure.
No, it's not
but that
is but you do have to
mandatory
disclose
to disclose. So you don't have to disclose if somebody died in the house in Las Vegas.
Right.
But you do have to disclose if the house killed you.
Yes. If the house was the cause of the death, you have to disclose it. That's the law here. But if you died in the house of natural causes or something like a heart attack, then that wasn't the house doing it. Then you don't have to disclose the death in the house.
Yeah, so no Amityville houses around here. But that I always get poked fun. I always have people poke fun at the methamphetamine. Because on our seller disclosures, it says, like, has this house ever been a meth lab? And people are like, what?
Yeah,
what
but that's real because that's the health and well-being of the next buyer to come in there if it was a meth lab.
Absolutely, because it's in the walls and things like that.
Yeah.
But,
that's some toxic shit.
Well, lucky for me, I haven't ran into a seller who's previously used their home as a meth lab. So.
Right, and you can usually smell those from like down the block.
Can you really?
Yeah. There's been a couple times where I've been out showing houses, and one time I parked a couple houses down because of the parking situation on the street, and I was like walking, I'm like, ooh, that's a lot of chemical going on in this neighborhood. Maybe this isn't the right spot.
Wow. Yeah. No, it's a silly question. I mean, it's not a silly question. Absolutely a legitimate question. But again, I've, but
it's just something you don't come across often. Like, knock on wood, I've never sold a crack house or a meth lab or some sort of, shady drug habitat.
Yeah. I just always imagine like I don't know what would your response be in the situation where they say yes?
They're like, yeah, we're cooking meth right now in the back. Why, are you interested? You want to be up for the next 48 hours, girl? I got you.
That's just like, I feel like that would be just a very uncomfortable conversation.
Yeah, and if they offer you meth, kids, don't do it. Yeah. Ruins your teeth, ruins your skin, ruins your sleep, ruins your life. Yeah. Avoid meth.
Yeah. Say no.
Don't make it, don't take it.
Just say no. But what you can just say yes to
is like, sharing, and subscribing to our podcast here. Make sure you download, join our team.
Yes, like, share, subscribe. Go to our link tree, realtycheck.vegas. And if you want to give us a call, text, call, send a listener question.
Please send us listener questions. I enjoy doing these.
Yeah, even the funny ones.
I love the funny ones. They're even better.
Yeah, and Tiana, how do people get a hold of you?
Hey, if you want to talk to me about your crack house, you can call me at 702-379-9948. I'm just making jokes, you guys.
Yeah,
and Trish, if they wanted to be serious, how do they get a hold of you?
702-308-2878. You can call or text me, and we will see you guys next week.
We will indeed. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you next week. Bye, Vegas.
Bye.